In 1992, I was 5, and I vividly remember hearing about the Somalian drought and famine. As a 5-year-old, my heart broke for these strangers that I had never met. Of course, at 5, I didn't understand the political aspect of the famine and the impact of the Civil War. I didn't understand the devastation conflicted on farmland and infrastructure due to warfare. But ultimately, that didn't matter. People were starving. Children and babies were starving. Images on the nightly news were full of infants and young children my age, emaciated, with every bone in their body sticking out. I will never forget these haunting images and the feeling of helplessness I had for them. Each night, sitting around the dinner table, I would ask my parents if the Somalians were still starving, and each night the answer was yes. I didn't realize it at the time, but this was part of my calling, to help the helpless. It's why I became a nurse, and it's why I have traveled so much as a nurse. In 2011, I packed my bags and moved to the other side of the world to be a helper. With 2 bags in my hand and a passport in my pocket, I set off on my new adventure. I moved to Kurdistan. Kurdistan is a region in the Middle East spread across several countries, including Syria, Iraq, Turkey, and Iran. This area is populated by Kurds, the largest people group without a country of their own. There are an estimated 30 to 40 million Kurds in this region, and they have suffered harsh treatment as outsiders in their own countries. In many countries, their language, clothing, flag, and culture has been outlawed, with steep penalties for breaking the law. A Kurdish proverb often cited is, "No friends but the mountains," referring to the betrayal and abandonment felt during their long history of being ethnic minorities without allies. My destination was Kurdistan, Iraq. This specific area is a semi-autonomous region in northern Iraq in which many Kurdish people reside. In 2003, after years of genocide and oppression, including chemical warfare, the Iraqi Kurds gained their independence. Kurdish food is often simple and delicious. Traditionally, Kurds were nomadic people migrating seasonally with flocks of sheep and goats. They do not waste a single part of the animal when processing. Head and feet are transformed into a soup called serope. Intestines are stuffed with savory rice and ground beef. Organ meats are cubed and grilled over open fire, and even the lungs and stomach are used for special dishes. I quickly learned that Kurdish food is all about the stews. Most often, each stew is devoted to one vegetable and a tomato-based broth, often served alongside rice and boiled meat. They have many shared cuisines with the surrounding area, including Mediterranean, Persian, Turkish, and Arabic influences. It's simple yet delicious. Flavors are derived from more natural products like fruits and vegetables. For instance, pomegranate juice is boiled down into a thick molasses that can add a delicious sweet and sour tang to your salad instead of dressing. Snacks are often nuts, fresh fruits, and baklava drenched in honey. Greek yogurt is often eaten for breakfast, but the thought of sweetened yogurt is unheard of. This is not to say that they don't like their sugary tea after every meal, or that processed snacks aren't becoming more readily available. But the real magic is with the traditional dishes filled with savory herbs and vegetables. Kurdish food in Sulaymaniyah is never spicy. They don't do spicy, at least in the area I lived, and garlic is practically a sin except for in one dish, okra soup. As a garlic connoisseur, I almost lost many friends along the way, or rather my breath scared them away. I quickly learned that I needed to be careful with the amount of garlic I added to things. Really, the only thing I could get away with adding garlic to was okra soup. Ironically, even though onions are in the same family as garlic, they are used in most dishes and will not offend like the smell of garlic. The first time I tried okra soup, I thought it was the weirdest thing. In America, the only time I had ever eaten okra was breaded and fried, generally at a restaurant that features Southern cooking, which I might add is a delicious way to eat okra. Okra is known to be slimy and not often used in the Midwest, but a rule that I have learned in traveling is that I should not form an opinion about a food until I have tried it 3 separate times. By the third time trying okra soup, I was hooked. It quickly became one of my favorite soups. When I moved back to America, okra was one of those things that I wanted to include in my garden. Growing okra is exceptionally easy and freezes well, making it an excellent crop that can be put up for the winter. So far, I have not found any pests on my okra. It loves hot weather and is drought tolerant. It grows very fast. Overall, growing okra is highly rewarding with high yields and low maintenance. One downside is that they do become woody if you do not pick them in time. This year I tried growing it at my parents' house with hopes of freezing some for the winter. My mom claimed she would be out in the garden harvesting on a regular basis, but time always gets the best of us. I only end up harvesting at my parents' house weekly, which is not nearly enough for a fast-growing crop like okra. Each week, when I would finally find time to make it to their garden, I would be left with large woody pods that were inedible. I'll be growing these in my own garden from now on, where I can harvest them daily. Luckily, I also planted a batch of okra in one of my own raised beds, so I still got a decent harvest. These fast-growing plants offer nutritious pods rich in vitamin A, C, and fiber. They also offer attractive hibiscus-like flowers. Due to its high folate content, it is an excellent addition to the diet of women of childbearing age. Okra consumption offers cardiovascular and metabolic health benefits, including improvements in glycemic control, lipid profiles, body composition, and liver function. Glycemic control is one of the most well-established benefits. Cardiovascular risk factors also improve with okra consumption. Okra supplementation significantly reduces total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and various anthropometric measures including BMI, body weight, fat mass, and hip circumference. In addition to soups and stews, okra can be eaten fried, pickled, sautéed, and roasted in the oven at 400 degrees until slightly golden. Roasting okra almost adds a sweetness with a nice crisp texture without that dreaded sliminess that okra is often known for.
Today we are going to make some roasted okra, and first we gotta get the okra.